Spring is on its way, and we can finally soften our shoulders down our back and look forward to the future of what this year brings in terms of community, art, spirituality, and connection with this Pisces new moon. Greetings, alchemists. Welcome back to my channel, Hidden Alchemy by Sade. Always a pleasure to have you here to discuss all things either astrology, spirituality, and just healing and tapping into personal power. So if it's your first time, welcome. If not, welcome back. We are diving into the luxurious Pisces new moon that we have taking place on February 28th. And the reason why I call this a luxurious Pisces new moon is we are really deep in water energy towards the end of the month. And if you reflect on how January has been and even how the beginning of February went, it was a pretty frigid winter. And I mean that metaphorically and technically, depending on where you are living. But it was a very frigid winter. As we get deeper into this Pisces energy and this Pisces new moon to solidify all of the water that we are in, we can finally start to feel some warmth, some softness, some hope, and some optimism for the future, especially because Pisces is ruled by the planet Jupiter, which is the planet of expansion, abundance, luck, spirituality, as well as optimism and faith. So before I dive deep into my philosophicalness for this Pisces new moon, let's take a moment to dissect what exactly the Pisces element represents and what exactly is a new moon, especially if it is your first time learning about this energy. Now, a new moon, as opposed to a new moon is when the sun and the moon are in the same sign. So we are literally having the most authentic energetic expression of a sign when the sun and the moon are in the same sign. And that goes for if you are a person who has your sun and your moon in the same element, you are literally the authentic expression of that sign, personality wise and inner needs. So when you have a new moon, you have the intuitive need, right? The moon is what brings us deeper into our intuition, into our subconscious mind, and most importantly, into what we need to feel safe on an internal level, not on what things appear on the outside. That's the sun, that's the personality. But the moon is what we need on an internal level to feel safe, to feel seen, to feel connected, and so that we can really tap into the fullness and the abundance of the sun energy. In this case, we have the sun and the moon both in the sign of Pisces. So what that is saying is the collective is in deep need of Piscean energy internally and to be exemplified externally in the physical world. Pisces is a feminine sign. It is ruled by Jupiter as well as Neptune. Neptune is the modern day ruler, but Jupiter is the OG ruler of Pisces and Sagittarius. And Pisces is also water. It's the last water sign. So when we are working with the element of Pisces, we are really leaning into the element of deep connectedness and compassion and healing. And most importantly, healing through love, healing through forgiveness, healing through practices that invoke peace, not only for the self, but for others. And when you have the sun and the moon both in that same element, that is really what the collective is yearning for and in need. And on top of that, let's not forget that the North Node is in the sign of Pisces, as well as the sun in Pisces, Mercury's in Pisces, and then Venus is going to retrograde back into the sign of Pisces in the month of March. So we are really being asked to focus heavily on our faith, our belief system. As I said, January and early parts of February were not the easiest times. So now that we are getting ready to prepare for spring, as well as eclipse season, we got two eclipses. We got an eclipse in Virgo and we got an eclipse in Aries to close out the Aries Libra cycle. I will dive deeper into that in another video, but just to prepare you, March is going to be a pretty I wouldn't say hectic. I don't like that word, but March is definitely going to be action oriented. So this Pisces energy is asking us, where is your faith? Where does your faith lie? I know that things have been a little weird, a little uncomfortable, not mindful, not demure at all in the month of January, especially with that Mars retrograde that we had in Cancer. We've been really uncomfortable for the past few weeks. So this new moon in Pisces is asking us, where is your newfound faith for the future? Your hopes for the future? And where can you start to exemplify that in your actions, your day to day actions? Because the moon is letting us know this is what we need right now. We need more connection, we need more spirituality, more healing, and more forgiveness because we need community. That's what I spoke about in my uh, February astrology for the Aquarius new moon that we had at the end of January, but also for the Leo full moon. We are in need of community. But first, we have to forgive. We have to let go of any grudges that we are holding on people, on ourselves, so that we can really open ourselves up to receive. Pisces is feminine, it's water. It's all about receiving the healing energy and the loving energy that we are really looking for, especially because Venus is going back into the sign of Pisces, and Venus is exalted in the sign of Pisces. So we really have to get crystal clear on what healing feels like, what love feels like, and what connection and relationship feel like and look like for us. And once we can plant that seed, because that is the point of a new moon, the new moon is asking you to plant these new seeds of intention so that we can start to see some fruit from our labor as the full moon, the next full moon cycle comes together. But once we get into Virgo season, we will be able to see what did we plant during this Pisces new moon. And it's going to be even more important during Virgo season because it's going to be a Pisces eclipse. So it is literally going to feel like a dream come true, because that is also what the Pisces element exemplifies, is our dream state, the visions that we have for ourselves. And what I love about this water energy that we're in is because the North Node is really helping us in this Pisces and Cancer element, because Mars stationed direct on the 24th. So depending on when you're watching this video, you might be watching this when Mars is still retrograde. But if not, Mars is direct in the sign of Cancer, which is saying go forward on what you need emotionally to feel connected to spirit, to feel connected to a higher consciousness, to feel connected to a community, right? If you look at the Pisces element, it's not just one fish, it's two fish together. So you need community to flow, to move, to morph, to blend, to heal, to deal, to cope. And this Pisces new moon with the North Node here is letting you know we are headed in that direction. So, what you are feeling towards the end of February, really tap into that because it's going to be heavy, heavy water. We got Mercury in Pisces on the 14th. We have the Sun entering Pisces on the 18th. Neptune making a conjunction to the North Node in Pisces on the 23rd. Mars goes direct in Cancer on the 24th. And then we got the new moon on the 28th. And then Mercury conjuncting Saturn on the 25th, even. So this is heavy water energy. And some tips that I would definitely say for this Pisces new moon is what you feel, journal it. Because sometimes with water, we can get so caught up in the feeling that we forget that it is fleeting. So if we don't write it down, we forget. Write down your dreams, write down your visions, write down the synchronicities that happened that month. Nothing is happenstance because it will all make sense throughout the rest of the year, but especially when we have that Pisces eclipse during Virgo season. Write down any emotional baggage that you're ready to release because Mars is now direct in Cancer. So it's like, let this go, let this wound go, let this moodiness go, so that you can really step in to the true power of this North Node in Pisces. I would also say, since Mars is direct in the sign of Cancer with this Pisces new moon, go after the things that are bringing you emotional healing, spiritual healing, mental healing, physical healing, healing in general, right? So if that's taking a yoga class, start your practice. If you've been thinking about starting your practice and you didn't have the energy in the winter months, the earlier winter months, so late December, January, you didn't have the energy because the season was just very frigid. Okay. Start your yoga practice, start your breathwork practice, start your mantra, start your dance practice, whatever it is that is bringing you artistic healing. This Mars direct in Cancer and this new moon with the North Node and the Sun and Mercury and Venus coming back into Pisces is all giving us the opportunity to lead from this Piscean area. Now, another note that I will say closing us off is be mindful of delusion. Okay, we're in so much water that we could get so caught up in the nirvanic feeling, the escapism. Yeah, because we've had a really rough January. So the escapism that Pisces is going to bring, be mindful because there will be a Virgo eclipse in the middle of March. And from one Virgo to the collective, if there are a lack of boundaries and a lack of balance that you are having with your indulgence and your escapism, that Virgo eclipse is going to be serious because eclipses shift us into a new direction that is taking us towards where we need to be on our journey, but it shifts us without our consent, right? So be mindful, be demure with this Pisces Cancer energy of engaging in the feeling, but balancing it out with practicality and the reality of your situation and what's going on. Other than that, I hope you all have an amazing Pisces new moon. If you would like to see where exactly this is affecting you in your chart, and most importantly, how you can make the most out of it. That's what I use astrology for. How can I make the most out of this transit? No matter what the transit is, go ahead and send me a message at info@hiddenalchemybysade.com. We can set you up with your consultation and get you on your way of your astrology journey. Other than that, y'all, I will see you for our next video.